championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're
I know you talked about last year.
but the signs haven't been posted on the interstate. There's not a right? That's what's happening in college athletics. What you have to decide as an athletic director and operate without the highest level of integrity. It's a bad place to be, in my opinion, bad for college athletics. And I don't want to operate there, but I think to be competitive, we may have to figure out what that third lane looks like for the University of Arkansas. But we're in a good place otherwise. You know, Remy Cofield.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I told you yesterday, he's like Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, a Rice graduate like myself.
You went to school with a guy who created Beavis and Butthead?
He was about 2 years older than me, Bo.
King of the Hill, too.
Mike Judge has no connection whatsoever to Rice University.
You guys are horrible.
No.
If the guy wants to go through life thinking he went to college with the creator of Beavis and Butthead, what's the harm?
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I'm sure things will settle as we go along, but I got to tell you, football season's really messing with my sleep pattern.
Yeah.
And this double Monday night football thing, the double header, it's just not good for those of us who really need a good night's sleep.
I did not succumb to that. I did not give in to that.
I did. I gave in last night. I've been weak. I will admit, when it comes to my bedtime discipline, I've been weak lately, and it's been because of football games.
I've been there. I've met many times. And I went to bed. I don't know. It was early, and I got up today. And I didn't want to get up.
I didn't.
I didn't know. My body was telling me it had been a full-on football weekend with the parents in town.
Yeah, that always adds to it. There's no question.
We got Dwight
Your
and Sharon
mind is
safely
tired.
home
well,
last
good.
night.
I'm glad.
We got them out of here yesterday in a very nice way. Very nice Delta Airlines.
I got you. No, I understand.
Took it to Atlanta and then back to Florida, and they had arrived at Pinecone Lane, and they were good.
Through Atlanta.
Yeah, through Atlanta, the hub of Delta.
That's right.
Of all Delta.
Everything goes through Atlanta.
Goes through Atlanta. Doesn't matter where you're going.
That's right.
You going
Atlanta or Dallas?
You going
in
to
our
LA?
part of the world?
Let's go to Atlanta
or
first.
Dallas. That's right.
Let's do that. Yeah, if you're American, you're Dallas. Boy, that was a weekend now. Oh, yes. We had all the things, Chuck, and all the games.
Yes.
You
You're
know?
right.
Man,
I
it
mean,
was a
look.
great weekend of
I
college
love football
football.
season.
Yeah,
I mean, I love it. And there's news every day, too. You know, like yesterday, on Monday, Coach Pitman meets with the media.
Yes.
Now, Hunter was in Little Rock yesterday. And so, but I mean, you got stuff going on, which for us, let's be honest, is good.
Boy, Hunter's going to be making some headlines out of the touchdown club yesterday.
There's something about that place down there.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just when they have a meeting on Monday, you know that there's going to be something come out of it.
There is definitely something. That's turning into a news-making.
They make news. They break news.
Monday event.
It is.
And
they flock to it in Little Rock. I mean, it's flocked to it. I mean, they have big crowds no matter who it is. They have bigger crowds for some than others. But they really flock to that. I'll give them credit.
The things that are happening right now in college athletics that we're going to get into momentarily, that Hunter talked about yesterday, we expected, but I didn't know if I expected it this quickly. But basically, this whole NIL rev share thing, meaning that the NIL is going to be policed and patrolled in a better way, and that you won't have the Wild West out here just schools paying as much money as they wanted to players, which we had. And that's what the rev share and then NIL regulations was supposed to fix. Breaking news, it has not been fixed.
Just words. No words.
And now people are speaking about it publicly, including Hunter and including Ryan Day. And Hunter said this yesterday about Arkansas in football.
And so I think we're doing just fine at the University of Arkansas, and I think we're set up to win a national championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're set up to win a national championship in baseball moving forward, and I think we're set up in several other sports to win a national championship. Football, where we are right now, we're not set up to win a national championship. I'll just be brutally honest with that. But I think we're set up to compete really well in the Southeastern Conference, especially now with the new revenue sharing model.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he said, I'll be brutally honest, and he was brutally honest right there. And I don't know that to be just when you get right down to it, I don't know that a lot of Razorback fans believe that they're equipped to win a national championship. They want them to. They hope they are. They are upset that they're not. But it's hard to, I mean, I hate to say it too, but it's hard to listen to that and accept it. But at the same time, it is brutal honesty. I mean, it is brutal honesty right there.
He basically laid out yesterday the idea that you have to cheat to win at a high level.
Well,
he didn't say those words. Here's how he explained what's going on with NIL.
Let's all raise our hands. If you're driving down I-40 and the speed limit's 55, but you know there's not going to be a trooper out that day, how many are going 65, right? That's what's happening in college athletics right now. And so you have to decide as an athletic director, are you going to get out in this lane that you know you're not supposed to be in and operate without the highest level of integrity, or do you want to stay in these two lanes? And that's where the rub is coming right now in college athletics. Until we get our enforcement agency up and running, you're going to continue to have schools operating in that third lane, and that's a bad place to be, in my opinion. It's bad for college athletics, and I don't want to operate there, but I think to be competitive, we may have to figure out what that third lane looks like for the University of Arkansas.
Chad Morris tried to tell us when he was here. It's the left lane and hammer down.
It's like driving in the HOV lane with only one person in the car. It's like you can get there sooner. I'm
put
not
in the left lane and pop the clutch and put the hammer down.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
goodness.
what if we had just listened to him.
Wow, we listened. I mean,
we sat straight up.
We
put our
sat
feet on
straight
the floor.
up, and all eyes were on him, and it still didn't work
feet
out.
flat on the floor.
That's right. Still didn't work out.
All right, everybody sitting up. Everybody feet on the floor.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Great moments in Razorback history, right there.
Well, that's, oh, dang, man. You should have known right there.
I mean, that was a bad sign.
But of course, we were all like, "Listen to this guy. He's
Well,
got
we
everybody's
loved
attention
it.
right
we
out of the
loved
gate."
it. We thought it was great because we, and I include myself in this, we like to think we know what we're talking about, but sometimes we do miss the mark. I mean, sometimes we do.
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of missed it
We were
there
all
for
hopeful.
sure.
We
We
were
were
very
hopeful.
hopeful.
That's right. We were very hopeful. And, you know, people, that's the tendency. Whether it's Chad Morris or whether it's the NIL era, I mean, there's a tendency to want to be hopeful. You want to feel like your team's going to be in the hunt, that, you know, we can win 7-8 games every year and have that year where we jump up and win 9 or 10. We believe that because that's what keeps us going. You know, and fan bases all over college football believe that because that's what keeps them going. I will say this, every time I think as a fan, well, I'm beginning to understand how this works now. Something is said like this, and I realize that, you know, I don't really have a clue. There's just has this feel of everybody's making it up as they go along. We're just making it up as we go along. Come up with a rule, we'll figure out a way to circumvent it. Tell us NIL is going to be fair and you're actually going to be paid market value, we'll figure out a way around it. I mean, that just seems to be how it's working right now. And, you know, you can say all you want about we're going to get out in this lane, we're going to do this. And, by the way, I've said for months now, really a couple of years, if there was ever a time to ask for forgiveness instead of permission, that time is now. But that requires money. You know, when you're talking about doing all these things that may circumvent the rules, well, you got to have money to do it. If you don't have the money now, I'm still kind of at a loss at where that money's going to come from.
I'll submit to you. I'm thinking about this, and there's a lot of places to go, but I'll submit this to you. We are at a point in college athletics where it's never been more obvious what you have to do to win. It's always been there, and it's really not new because the money has always won. Cheating, behind the scenes, who was organized, who was able to pay players without getting caught. Some coaches got caught. If you're a coach and you're an athletic director, you probably feel like that you can cheat and it's really not wrong because it's the way the game is played and the way things are done. And because you're in a system that's so bass-ackwards and can't keep up with things that this is what is happening. And so if you choose, it's almost as if you choose to play by all the rules, that you are at a disadvantage immediately. That is just the harsh reality of where we are. So now we come in and we try to regulate it with this, or the NCAA does, with the rev share and the NIL cap and the third-party clearinghouse that has to approve any deal over $600. And that has already been circumvented. And people are not, I don't know if some of them ever did, but people are not playing by those rules. And some people want to win so bad, and it's such a hobby to them, that they will go spend money, all kinds of, like millions, to be good at football. And it's prominent in the South, and it's become quite prominent at a few Big Ten schools.
It's always been about the money, and it always will be about the money. But, you know, as sports fans, and I fall into this category, I look at it like, oh, it's terrible. It's all about the money. Well, you know what? Pretty much everything we do every day, whether we want to admit it or not, is maybe not all about the money, but it's a lot about the money. And if we've been taught this since we were kids, if you want to know what's going on, follow the money. That's where the story is. That's where it always is. Because that's the way we're set up as a society. And now more than ever, if you really are honest about it, we couldn't care less how somebody got their money, just as long as they got it. And that's kind of how it is in college sports right now. When a guy breaks an 80-yard touchdown run for your team and you're going crazy, well, you know, you're not thinking about how much money he's making. You don't care. And it's you know, we still kind of cling to this ideal as fans that, you know, there's a higher cause above all this. But nobody, you know, people are playing professional football for the money. You don't put your body through that if there's not a lot of money at the end of the rainbow. And that's what they're doing right now in college. It's all bled down. And it's always been about the money, but it's just out in the open now, and it's a lot more distasteful maybe than it was before.
Well, yeah, and once you open the door to pay players, it is now.
Well, that's it.
How do you regulate it? Because the
NCAA has no enforcement power. I mean, look.
And this was supposed to be different.
When college basketball blew up 8-10 years ago, and the GAs and the low-level assistant coaches, a few of them went to prison, and they had all these coaches from Will Wade to Bill Self. I mean, they had them red-handed. Nothing happened. Because, you know, unless you've got real subpoena power,
Pearl.
Unless you can really punish someone for lying, I mean, and have the power of the law behind you, you're not going to get to the bottom of anything. And, you know, we had that laid out before us. And the NCAA is powerless. They're powerless. And everyone knows they're powerless. They are well-intentioned people. It's a bureaucracy that's gotten too big. But they have no power to enforce their own rules. They get up and they it's like they're preaching from a pulpit when they talk about these rules. And all these people involved in college athletics are just like shaking their heads and like, you have no way to enforce any of this. And the schools know it.
But some people are still, trying to play. But Hunter was that was amazing that he was that transparent about that yesterday. I mean, he's basically saying that as your AD, I've got to decide whether to cheat or not.
Well, I know he's disgusted. I would think a lot of people that work in college sports are disgusted with a lot of the things that have transpired. But, that's the way it's played now. I mean, the bad guys have won. And so this is how it's done now. I'm over speaking when I say the bad guys have won, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, this is how it works now. And I don't know anyone that envisioned it being like this.
Bart is in the
I was going to say,
situation
I can feel over my shoulder Bart has thought.
We're looking at Thinking Bart right now. I don't know if he's ready to speak. By the way, are you ready?
Are you collecting your thoughts?
Are you still looking at the menu?
You
need some time to order?
I've been collecting my thoughts.
It's like he's analyzing a bet.
Yeah, a little bit.
Things were frenetic around here.
I know
this
they
morning.
were. We had a lot of stuff going on behind. I think we still do. I think we still do.
Bart had he was plugging several holes in the dam as we came on the air.
He's out of fingers.
About 9 toes and 4 fingers. He was just kind of like just spread all over the studio,
Human
trying
twister.
to he was playing that game, Twister.
Twister.
Yeah. It's like, if I hold this here and I hold that over there, I think we can go on. And now we're coming to you.
Here.
Yeah.
Collect your thoughts,
Yeah,
Bart.
but now you're on the air. Go ahead.
Man, this is a really tough conversation.
I was trying to talk my way through it too.
Well,
I was like, how exactly do I want to say?
Here's the bottom line. I do not like hearing what Hunter had to say yesterday when it comes to NIL. I don't ever want to hear an athletic director tell his fans, we're not set up to compete for a championship. Like, I understand the transparency. I appreciate the transparency, but I also feel like that's just not something you should say, right? Because then you can't follow it up by saying we are set up to compete in the SEC. Well, if more than half the SEC is set up to compete for a national championship and you aren't, then you're not set up to compete in the SEC. And that's what we've seen for the last decade, is a football program that hasn't been set up to compete, truly compete. I'm talking about compete for a championship in the SEC. So, I was kind of like, I heard that and I was kind of dumbfounded. I was like, why are we saying that? I mean, in some ways it's like saying the quiet part out loud, but you also don't need to say that. Like, don't bring up a problem unless you have the solution. Not what you think might be the solution, or talk about how it's not fair and it's not you're not set up to succeed because people are cheating or whatever, or doing this or playing loose with the rules or whatever. What's the plan to fix the problem? What's the plan to fix the problem? Don't bring up the problem publicly without saying, hey, here's the plan. Here's how we're going to fix it. Here's how we're going to make Arkansas football nationally competitive. And I know, like, that's a big conversation, right? That's not an easy that's not like just a simple, well, here's the piece of paper with the plan on it. I understand that, but man, like, I didn't love that.
We're too responsible to win at football, Bart.
Yeah, I don't. No.
I mean, honestly,
well,
I
wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
We got to take a break. We'll come back. It's we got a lot to get into today. 6:20. Good morning. The Chuck and Bo Show. It's Tuesday. This is not interesting. It's just interesting to us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home. The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
One thing, but listen, what a great show the best sports show in the state is no doubt the Chuck and Bo Show. No doubt about it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Okay, we got all kinds of things to get into. We're going to take Brent's call. Brent's and Cersei, 6:24 Tuesday. The can has been opened at the Little Rock Touchdown Club with the athletic director Yurachek yesterday. Brent, good morning. What say you?
Good morning, Chuck and Bo.
What's
Bart,
up, Brent?
Great week on your pick last week, Bo. Bart, go Lobos.
That's right.
See the olive branch?
Look at that.
Do you see the olive branch? Do you feel it? Do you feel the
Brent,
love?
Brent and I had a conversation the other day. We're good.
Okay. Well, because the other day it didn't sound like you were good.
Yeah, you need to publicly apologize like
Yeah,
Brian Kelly did to that
right.
reporter.
Go ahead, Brent.
Bart, we're real good. I got one thing to say. First of all, with the people of the Arkansas Razorback fans at the Little Rock Touchdown Club did not want to hear that from Hunter Yurachek that says we aren't equipped to compete in football for championships. If you don't think I got one thing to say. You need to go. G-O. Immediately, if not sooner. Sam Pitman doesn't need to hear we're not equipped to win championships.
I'm sure he knows.
Oh, I'm sure he does too. But our football staff wants to win, Bo.
They're trying
and
to.
We don't ever. I know, but we don't need our athletic director coming out and saying publicly we're not equipped to. That's ridiculous.
Well, the other side of that, I understand what you're saying, and Bart said the same thing, and Chuck mentioned this in the break. The other side of this is you want people to tell you. We're always asking for the truth. Just tell me the truth.
I got to throw this out here, Brent. When he said we're not equipped to win the national championship in football right now, was your honest reaction, oh, I thought we were? I thought we were. I mean, my point is I don't think he really said anything that we didn't know. I didn't wake up yesterday. I mean, look, the entire show yesterday dealt with the fact that, oh, they're pitiful on defense. They're not going to be able to beat anybody if they can't hold anyone under 40 points. They're pitiful. And wait, hang on. And when they weren't saying that, they were saying Sam Pitman needs to be fired. Same old Arkansas, same old Arkansas. And then the next day it's like, how dare you tell me we're not equipped to win the national championship? I mean, he kind of said what we already knew, didn't he?
He did, but why did he have to re-say it? I mean, people in the state of Arkansas, we are not dumb. We know we're not equipped to win the national championship. I know that, but don't insult my intelligence by telling me. I mean, you went to Guilford College. You're a D3 scrub basketball player. You never won a championship. Come on. You've been a disaster hiring coaches throughout your career.
Hunter?
I mean, we need Hunter, yeah.
A disaster hiring coaches?
A disaster.
What do you, like who?
Bo.
Okay.
Let me rephrase this. Hunter is wanting to leave the University of Arkansas. Let's find him another job. If you want to stay at the University of Arkansas, you don't say what he said at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, because all those people knew that what he was talking about. I mean, that's just my opinion, Bo.
Well, you're welcome to your opinion. It doesn't mean it's not going to get challenged.
Sometimes, Bo, it's better to keep your mouth shut, Hunter, than say something. Do you know what I mean?
I do. And that argument could be made about what he said yesterday. But I think let me ask you this. If you're in his position, let's try that for a second. Let's get in his position. Your job, you know that what's most important to this state is winning in football. And at the same time, you know that people are circumventing the new rules, and they're out there, they've got all the money they want to spend, which, by the way, has always been true. But it's particularly obviously true and more transparent now, okay? And people want you to win at Arkansas. And you know you don't have a great recruiting base. And you also know that there's a new way in college athletics that you can win. That's more legal than it's ever been, and it's to spend money. And you're not getting it. You're not getting it from, like, people walk around talking about Walmart and J.B. Hunt and these Fortune 100 and 500 companies in our state, and they're like, Dude, all you got to do is give the money. Those companies aren't in business to hand out money. That's not how they got to where they were.
Well, they're publicly traded companies too. I mean,
well,
it's not like
that's
another.
Like, let's not let really important details get in the way. Yeah. But people act like that. They act like that should just be happening. And if Hunter can't get the money from him, then he's not doing a good job. But beyond that, if you're in his position, you're sitting here going like, what do I do? This is the position I'm in. What do I do? And maybe he should have kept that to himself. But as Chuck said, I mean, I think like the truth is that's what we've been saying on the air for a while. Those kinds of things. He just finally said it. And I think part of his reason for saying it was because somebody's got to say it in college athletics, and then somebody else needs to say it, or nothing's going to be done. And the bullies will just keep running wild, which I don't know that they're going to change that, but that's the attempt.
Oh, nobody else is going to say it. So, my opinion, let's get in the left lane, and if we get caught, pay the penalty and go on. Because I want the Razorbacks to win in football. Win.
Guys,
8 to 9, 10 games a year. I want us to win.
Guys, we're struggling to raise the legal money. I mean, much less the illegal money if you want to apply those simple terms there. I mean, they're still trying to figure out how to raise that $20 million. And we're sitting here saying, well, let's get in that other lane and let's spend
more.
Let's spend even more. Well, where are you getting that? I mean, where's that coming from? I'm just at a loss on that.
I got a suggestion for us. If we want to win, damn the money in the SEC, and let's go to the Big 12. Damn it, let's win.
That's not going to happen.
You know, I've thought that a time or two, Brent. The thing is, you don't go to the Big 12 and still be an SEC team with an SEC roster.
That's right. You know, yes, if you could take this roster and go to the Big 12, hey, they're in the playoff. Arkansas would be in the playoff. But if you join the Big 12, Brent, your roster's not going to look like this. You're not going to go into these other SEC states and pluck out some of the players you're getting right now. I'm not saying they're all Americans, but I'm saying that, you know, there's a big difference in the quality of roster in the two leagues, even at the bottom of the SEC and the top of the Big 12. I mean, just kind of look at what has transpired so far this year.
Brian, that was a good conversation. It was a good call.
I mean,
thank you. 6:32, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. You know, see, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatgnomecosmetic.com and click on the Sweat Gnome Edge.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up. And don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection or visit hoggutters.com.
Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
you think you're on anybody's like pickup list at school?
No.
Chuck Barrett able to pick up my kid.
No, that I doubt that.
I'm gonna write you in.
All right, good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Have you got me on the list yet? Am I on the list to pick up your kids at school?
Yeah. I Uncle Chuck. I didn't put like your full name.
That's right.
That way, if I need to
That's
send
good.
somebody else,
That's good.
I could just tell them it's Uncle Chunk.
It's a nickname.
Chunk.
Yeah, it's a nickname.
Uncle Chunk.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, wow! This is really something today. I mean, we're suddenly in the weeds of the underbelly of college athletics, and it's been playing out, but we just sort of bounce along, with smiles on our face, and you're just kind of bebopping, and you're like, man, wow, there's get hit with some reality yesterday.
Well, context is important, and I know you've got some more from some of Hunter's comments there. We do tend to, and all of us are guilty of this in our business. I mean, we take a soundbite or something, and away we go. And it's not like, again, that any news was being broken yesterday that Arkansas is behind a lot of these schools. I mean, just look at their budgets, and they operate with a lot more cash on hand.
There's a big canyon within the SEC where we sit at a $181 million budget. There's multiple schools that are over $300 million for their operating budget this year. That's within the same conference. But at the same time, I'll tell you, I know the focus is on football, and we all want to win in football. But at the same time, those schools have been outspending us for the last decade, and we've still won more SEC championships among more sports than any school in the SEC.
That's what we do. We do win at other sports. We win SEC championships, in some cases national championships, but everybody wants to win in football. Now, why is that? Well, let's start with this. We joined a conference where football is king. Arkansas joined a conference where football is king. Well, when you join a club or a league or whatever, why are you joining that league? To compete or to get excited about the thing that's most important there. So how do you not, as a fan, I mean, this is the South. Listen, it's not, I'll be real honest, it's not healthy like the way we are with football in the South. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I think some people would trade their kids for a national championship. You get into Alabama and tell me that's not true. Just go around. That should be one of these NPR documentaries.
It's like which one?
Like these documentary podcasts, that you go into. What am I think? Give me the some of the, not the murder ones, but NPR's gone in and they've done things like, our late friend Brent did one on American Jihadi. And it was this Southern Baptist kid that ended up being one of the most wanted criminals in the world with Al-Qaeda. And we needed to go in and do something like that. Like he went in and interviewed families and people he had grown up with, and it's all audio, and it was an incredible podcast. We need to do that with some Alabama fans that would trade their kids for a national championship.
Well, you got 4 kids. Guy says, would you give up one of your kids for a national title? It's like, which one?
The middle one.
Which one do you want? I got 3 left.
So, money-wise, people they'll do all kinds of things to win in football. And now it's become, you don't have to hide it as well, or it's easier to do it than it's ever been. What do you want to do about that? What do you do about it? And Bart said something earlier, and it's true. And I hope Bart treats all of our meetings like this. Like, don't come in here with a problem unless you have a solution. But this is the problem that Arkansas has faced for decades.
That's right.
And we don't. And the discussion is the solution. We're discussing potential solutions because we don't have one. It's like they didn't have. Everybody was like, yeah, the players should get paid something, but nobody had the right solution. And then they got forced by lawmakers in certain states that got us to the point where we are today. I mean, we had our governor on the show, and we're talking about playing in a dilapidated stadium because it's good for some Arkansans. I mean, they're not having that discussion anywhere else in the South. They're having a discussion in the governor's office about how they win football games. And then the athletic director's like, and oh, by the way, let's try to bring basketball along a little bit. It was so bad in this league, just a brief history lesson, for so long in basketball, because nobody cared. It got to the point where it was embarrassing. And the SEC literally got the ADs and presidents together, and they said, look, guys, I know football's important, but, like, we got to try at basketball. How can we help you get better at basketball? And that's when, you know, the Bruce Pearls and John Calipari's of the world started coming to the SEC. And you started getting basketball coaches that had won, you know, and been in Final Fours.
You said it a little bit earlier, though, about football being king. And when Razorback fans travel, and I do think this goes to the heart of some of the, you know, at least part of it with people. When they travel around the Southeastern Conference, when they go on vacation in the summer to Florida, people don't come up to them and say, how are you going to do in basketball this year? How's your baseball team going to be? They don't do that. They come up and they say, how are you going to be in football this year? How's your football team going to be? Or when they say, how are the Razorbacks going to be? They're talking about football. And it's a
emphasis of pride, it's a point of pride.
That's exactly right. It's for the same reason. And look, I did it. When Arkansas won the national championship in basketball, everybody that went on summer vacation that day had a T-shirt for every day of the trip because we were telling the country we were from Arkansas. And that's the way it is in the SEC states, but it has to do with your football program. And we've not been part of that conversation. And I think for fans, that's frustrating. I'm not saying that's the whole deal, but it is part of it.
Well, and when we talk about coaches and whether they're doing a good job or not, and we say, like, you got to take everything into consideration. Like, you can hire a new coach, but unless you're going to fix all the other things, they might be worth another win or two, but it's not the difference in playing for a championship. And that's what this is the kind of thing we're talking about when we say you got to get a lot of other things on track. Now, it's a bit unfortunate that we're having this conversation after we watched a team play at Ole Miss on Saturday night that looks like they can play.
Hey, let's just get a stop. I mean, let's not worry about this third rail. Let's not worry about, you know, what are we going to do with this guy? How are we going to outbid that school? Let's get a stop.
Well, I think
how about a 3 and out, baby?
I think Hunter was saying
with
a little bit more money we could buy one.
Well, I don't know about
By the
that.
way,
I don't know, but I would have paid up. I'd have paid up Saturday night.
Yeah, like if you could do it in real time.
That's right.
If you could do it in real time, wouldn't that be awesome?
Right.
It's like one of those video games. If you put a little bit more money in, you could just strengthen your defense, but you got to pay a little bit more right now. Keep that snap streak going. If you lose your snap streak, you can restore it. Oh my gosh. Hey, how about this shirt today, man? I don't know if it's the right day to be wearing it.
Yeah. Timing's
what's
key.
It say, Bart?
Timing's key.
It says Bo's Kool-Aid Corner.
How's it look?
It's a great looking shirt.
It sounds like a special segment.
It's got the Kool-Aid Man on it.
Definitely not subject to copyright there.
No.
Certainly not.
You don't think we can scale this?
No, probably not.
That's a crooked
Maybe
smile.
keep that in-house.
Yeah. Can I get arrested for wearing it?
No, I don't think so.
On the street? Yeah.
Yeah. This is the definition of street clothes right here.
Yeah,
That's right.
Remember when he's in street clothes tonight? He's not going to play. What are street clothes?
I don't know.
Clothes you wear on the street, man.
We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, where they're always helping you bank better no matter what your issue is or what your situation may be. Whatever your banking needs, First Security Bank can help you. More convenient locations all over the great state of Arkansas. Friendly folks helping Arkansans every day. FSBank.com. First Security Bank, member FDIC, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. Chuck has thoughts. I want to have some coffee and let you guys roll for a while. This is going to be good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yingling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Has your roof been taking a beating after the summer we had with the heat, the sun, and those sudden storms? Teamwork Roofing and Construction knows your roof is more than just shingles. It protects your home, your business, and everything inside. And their expert team delivers top-quality roofing and construction services all over Arkansas and beyond. And they only use the best materials while treating every project like it's their very own. Visit their website, teamworkbuilt.com, or you can find them on Facebook. Teamwork Roofing, built on quality, powered by teamwork.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
WT Equipment is overstocked on new Bobcat equipment. The lots are packed and ready to move with special fall deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built for any job. Take your pick from compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more, all backed by WT Equipment's trusted service and support. And don't forget, WT Equipment's Fall on the Lot community event is Saturday, October 4th from 12 to 4 p.m. Food, games, prizes, and family fun only at WT Equipment.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart's over there fact checking. Kind of ruined.
Just ruined the whole day for me. Has everything I've said on this show been fact checked?
This would not have happened. This would not have happened.
Have you gone home and fact checked everything I've said?
No.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
877-377-6963. That's the number to text or call. It's approaching 7 o'clock on a Tuesday morning here on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Connor O'Gara coming up next hour.
Saturday down south.
Saturday down south.
What's happening in the SEC?
And there's a lot happening in the SEC. There's a lot happening
By
in
the
the
way,
SEC.
Hunter mentioned about this third lane.
Yes.
Ross Bjork openly talked about it. The AD now at Ohio State.
Really, the next sort of arms race, I think, in our enterprise is going to be who can build out the third-party NIL system the best. Yeah. Can you have a for certain amount of money that, again, is above the cap, that has to go through all the clearinghouses, all the systems, valid business purpose, but can you essentially have a marketing fund that you can then match make, Adam, the tight end, with the company? And then it has to go through all the clearinghouse piece. So we have that system built. We're monetizing it now. We're building out the resources for that.
That's a full-blown bureaucracy right there, what he's talking about. You're talking about staff.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people to hire to make that work. Yeah. Whole new wing at the NCAA office.
They're not equipped to do it. That's the interesting part, too, is when you talk about like the money in an athletic department. The NCAA's broke. They can't. They don't have money to go out and build another wing of enforcement. Just so backwards. Meanwhile, you got these guys out in the oil fields. Let's buy a championship. Let's do it. And the time is now.
Well, there's people that would buy one here right now.
Let's watch.
And
Hey, when Texas Tech plays now, I'm looking for the game. I want to see, did they really buy a winning roster? Let's see how it plays out.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call. Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
As long as we're talking about things that we don't understand, what is with the pulling into the convenience store with your music at a normal level and getting out of your car and going inside and cranking it up like to 10 while you're outside your car? I don't get that. I see it at convenience stores quite often. Kids will come in. It's a thing among the kids. It is. I've seen it repeatedly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Seems like every week, last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess, there's the A-State football game, and yet we spent the week talking about the great stadium debate.
Yeah.
This week, Hunter made a little news yesterday.
Yeah.
The football game Saturday. Sam Pitman spoke. It was a busy Monday. There was a lot going on
It is.
yesterday.
We haven't even gotten to Coach Pitman.
I know.
Well, we got a more pressing matter. Can we ever win? Can we ever win a national
Are we
championship
doomed?
in
Are we
football?
doomed?
We're not set up to compete for a national championship in football in the current climate. As we learned yesterday, we knew this.
Didn't we already know
this?
this?
Yes, we did. We did. But my poor choice of words. Some people may have learned it for the first time.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. We hear from people who do say that should be happening. And then if you would just change coaches, it would be happening. Some people believe also that if you, and maybe they're right, I don't know this to be true, but if you hired what they say, if you hire a certain coach, then that coach will have, the money will come.
Sometimes that's right. Sometimes
there will be a
it's not.
pilgrimage to Razorback Stadium, and they will drop piles of money off. In the area you can get in the south end zone, they can raise the gate, the garage door, and you could drop off your dry goods, your canned goods, your bags of money, because you are now a follower of the team, and you were in. Is that really going to happen?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it really, sounds great. It sounds great.
Saddle up, get the wagon hitched up, and let's go to Fayetteville and drop off the money to compete for a championship.
Well, it seems like at a lot of these places where they've gone out and hired what everyone thinks is the coach of their dreams, the money's set up ahead of time. The money's there up front. The guarantees say yes.
If you're a coach
that's right.
of someone's dreams,
that's right. So
that coach has to know before he comes,
right,
that he is walking into that pile of gold.
So you've got to make a lot of promises, and sometimes you're betting on things to work out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Here is Hunter Yurachek, the athletic director at the Little Rock Touchdown Club yesterday.
And so I think we're doing just fine at the University of Arkansas, and I think we're set up to win a national championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're set up to win a national championship in baseball moving forward, and I think we're set up in several other sports to win a national championship. Football, where we are right now, we're not set up to win a national championship. I'll just be brutally honest with that. But I think we're set up to compete really well in the Southeastern Conference, especially now with the new revenue sharing model.
And he's talking about financially. And for a little more context, if you missed it earlier in the show, here's what Hunter said about just overall budget.
There's a big canyon within the SEC where we sit at a $181 million budget. There's multiple schools that are over $300 million for their operating budget this year. That's within the same conference. But at the same time, I'll tell you, I know the focus is on football, and we all want to win in football. But at the same time, those schools have been outspending us for the last decade, and we've still won more SEC championships among more sports than any school in the SEC.
Now, that is interesting, and I commend Arkansas for doing that. But quickly, people will move past that because they want to win at football.
Well, you want what you don't have. I mean, that's just, pardon me, human nature. And everybody wants to be good at football in our league because it's a football-dominated league. And when we joined this league, I think we came in with both eyes open. But in retrospect, I'm not sure that's entirely true. This is a league where football is king. And that's that's your calling card, whether you want it to be or not.
Let's have coffee and talk about this, okay?
All right.
So when Arkansas came into the league, and I wasn't here in 92. I got here in 98. But and just tell me if I'm off base on this. When there was a togetherness about this state when I came here, that when they quit playing games in Little Rock, we began to divide as a state. And I don't know if that's the only thing, but we are not all on the same page in our state about how to win at football. And just a mere week ago, when we had the governor on, we saw that. And we had a conversation that was this: what's good for Arkansans may not necessarily be the best thing to win at football. Now, I want you to just think about that statement. What's good for Arkansans may not necessarily be what's best for the Razorbacks when it comes to trying to win games at football. Now, I'm just going to tell you, nobody's winning in the South where that is true. Even in Alabama, where they have two rivals, and you decide which one you're on, but there is a congregation of Auburn and there is a congregation of Alabama, and the people in power, when they get on the same page, can be dominant. We've seen it at Auburn, and then we've seen that fractured at times, and we've seen it at Alabama, and then we've seen that fractured at times. Now, Saban was able to get everybody pulling in the same direction that he wanted pulling in a certain direction. But he kind of had that support coming in because they were so sick of losing. They were so sick of striking out on coaches. And you got to get that before you ever talk about who your coach should be. Like all this talk about Pitman, and I don't care what anybody says, Pitman has done a remarkable job with the hand he has been dealt. That doesn't mean that there isn't a better coach. But when people run around just ripping this guy and talking about, one-score losses and whatever, I'm not saying he's perfect, but the guy came into the most difficult and ugly and awful situation imaginable. When Calipari came and said, I met with the team, there was no team. This wasn't a program. This thing was in shambles. And then COVID hit. And then the transfer portal came along. And then you could start paying players, and he had no money. And somehow, he's managed to win 9 games, 3 bowl games, and this looks like it'll be another postseason. We'll see how it plays out, but I look at a team that's, obviously pretty good on offense. They got some things to work on defense, but they've got Taylor Green. I mean, anybody in the league would love to have Taylor Green. Anybody
in the country would love to have Taylor Green right about now.
I mean, how do you pull that off? How do you do that with your hand tied behind your back? Well, you go out and get Frank Fletcher. Frank Fletcher, relationship, Petrino, help. I mean, but all of that stuff has to be, if you want to win at a high level, that's the organization that teams that have won forever, Chuck, along with great recruiting bases, have had in the South.
I would say in the time Arkansas has been in the SEC, you talked about when they joined in 1992, we've had about 5 years, in total, maybe 6, where we were all on the same page. First couple of years of Houston Nutt and the Bobby Petrino era. That's really been the only time that we've all been tugging in the same direction. Because, I'm old enough to remember, and others are too, Houston Nutt was the first coach that ever used the words national championship to the public. He's the first one. He said national championship under construction, and we loved it. Now, 10 years later, when there wasn't one, it was a whole different deal. But, Hunter did not say anything yesterday that we didn't already know. And I said this in the last hour. Yesterday the entire program was about, gosh, our defense is horrible. I mean, we're terrible. We're never going to be any good. If we can't stop them, I mean, there's no telling how many games we're going to lose this year. And then the next day, it's like, well, how dare you say we're not equipped to win the national championship? So, I mean, I don't think he broke any news yesterday. It was just hard to hear.
Yeah, he's honest. Double D in Bentonville. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, fellas. I took a different take from what Hunter said. And you couple that with what he said about our defensive staff, that they have to do a better job. I think he's talking about we got to wait till we have the opportunity to get the right coach in here before we throw all the money at it. And he's just telling us we got to be patient. We got to ride this one out.
Huh.
I didn't take that
where did
away
you get,
from it.
Like, how did you arrive at that conclusion?
Well, we're not set up to win in football. Why are we set up to win in baseball and basketball and track and softball?
Because it doesn't cost as much. Because it doesn't cost as much.
Look, that's not what people want to hear, but there's a lot of truth to that. That's not what people want to hear, Double D, and I hear you on that. I'm with you. But what he said, there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of
What's the difference?
It is money. It is money.
What's that? What'd you say?
Sports. Nobody else spends any money on it.
Nobody else spends any money on what? You cut out there for a second. I mean, look, the budgets.
The baseball and the basketball. I mean, it's the coaching, guys.
Well, again, it's.
Why is our offense better this year than the last year and the year before? What one thing changed?
Oh, there's no question. Coach Petrino's made a huge difference on that side of the ball. But
so what if we had that person on the defensive side?
Well,
who is that guy? Who is that guy?
Last year, everybody loved T. Will.
Yeah,
everybody thought he was the guy last year.
Know.
In fact, I haven't heard anybody say he's not.
Well, we give up 50-something points.
Well,
yeah, I mean, but Double D, let me.
It wasn't
Double D,
50-something,
let me
but it was a lot of
Can I
points.
challenge you for a second? Can I ask you? Can I ask you to not make the lazy argument that let's just stop at the coach, like, oh, it's the coach's fault, or it's the coach's credit. Like, that's what we're talking about today. There's so much more at play.
I agree, but you just go back to let's be honest. Arkansas is going to be in the hole from talent. That's a given. So we have to be, and it's not fair to the coaches, but they got to almost be perfect to win because of the talent differential. But that's why you got to have those great coaches.
Okay, so what would the coaches have done better on Saturday? Like kick the field goals or not fumble the ball? Would that have been? Is that what you want? You want them to kick the field goals and not fumble the ball?
No, what I saw, little thing, right before first half, we were about to score. We were snapping the ball with 25 seconds left on the clock. And we scored, but we gave them a minute to go score. If we'd have ran the clock down, that'd have been 3 points they would not have had.
Let me write that down. They scored too fast in the first half, at the end of the half, because they were sure they were sure that they were going to score, and they should have maybe just waited to have one more, like make a 2 or 3 less possible plays.
And they had timeouts left. All you just going to get is 4 downs.
Well,
why not run it down?
We're bogged down right now. I mean, we just don't.
I just want to hear it. I'm fascinated.
Well, I'm just telling you, that's one thing. The other thing is, we had a whole year to prepare for Ole Miss. How could we not have our kids lined up? Half the time in the first half, they absolutely were lost. We were running around with our heads cut off before the ball snapped. How can that happen at a major college when you have a defensive staff that's making over $3 million? We can't get our kids lined up.
Unfortunately, not getting lined up right, you could have watched every college football game possible to watch on Saturday, and every game you watched, you would have seen defenses not getting lined up right on multiple occasions. You make it sound like it's the simplest thing in the world. Both offensive. No.
That's why we pay you $3 million.
Hang on a second. Do you think, number one, at Ole Miss, they're griping about Pete Golding, their defensive coordinator today? I'm guessing not, because they won the game. Bobby Petrino out-formationed him all night. Their guy out-formationed our guy all night, too. I mean, that's the chess match that goes on there. Sometimes you get out-formationed, and sometimes coaches and players know how to take advantage of that, and that happened a lot.
And they adjusted at
on
halftime.
Saturday night. But
gave up fewer points.
But you're making it sound like that doesn't happen in every football game. That happens in every football game that every team plays.
Get to us every once in a while, but not consistently through the game.
Well, I mean, your team lost, and our team lost, and I understand your frustration. I understand that. I understand that.
Bottom line, whether we win or lose.
Well, there it is. Thanks, Double D. It was a good chat. We got to take a break.
Have a great day.
You too. You too. Have a cinnamon roll. Holy smokes. 7:17. More of your thoughts coming up on Tuesday at the Chuck and Bo Show. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all
want
I wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
That's special.
When Chuck and I started the show, he said we want to deal with smart people, smarter than us. It's going to take a while for them to show up because they've been dumbed down, but they'll show up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Before we go to the phones, I'm going to work.
I was going to say.
Teamwork Roofing and Construction.
Getting ready to get up on that roof this morning.
Pearl Snap work shirt on. What do you call this thing? What's it called? Is it a poncho shirt? Is that what it's called?
Fancy shirt like that? Are you going to get any real work done in a fancy shirt like that?
Hey, I got a snap.
Can you put a pin in there? Please?
You have a pen protector?
Pocket protector?
Edward, time for you to get to work over there.
Those pearl buttons?
Got a call over there.
Well, those are
listen to that snap. Listen to that.
That sounds like the snap of a new shirt.
Oh, yeah. He just rip it right off like Hulk Hogan.
Let's not.
Easy on, easy off. Hey, Teamwork Roofing and Construction, they don't just look good when they show up. They get the job done for you and leave it looking good. They clean it up. They communicate with you on time. They come in on budget, on time, and they use the best quality materials. And here's the deal. If it's a complicated job with the slope of the roof or whatever, they've got certified employees that handle all of that. I mean, there's no job that's too difficult. If you have a new roof need, maybe you're using insurance, make them one of your 3 quotes. You won't regret that. Teamworkbuilt.com. People you can count on and a job well done. Malarkey shingles are the best in the business, more sustainable. You want a roof to last. You want to know it's going to be there for a long time. Whether it's a metal roof or a shingle roof, whatever it is. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by teamwork. We'll give this shirt away to caller number 7.
It's a nice one.
It's Rogers in Fayetteville. Roger, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, sirs. I appreciate you letting me have a voice. I think Mr. Yurachek left the lead line out of his discussion in Little Rock. You know, I think he did a great job of selling the athletic program at $181 million versus $300 million. I think he did a great job of talking about the national championships that we have on other sports within the University of Arkansas. But I think that what he left the lead line out of his discussion because it wouldn't be great to hear within the audience in Little Rock is if you want us to play in Little Rock, you're going to have to pony up the money. What's the cost of what would we have made if we had that game scheduled with the Tennessee, Appalachia, Tennessee, or as another school from within maybe University of Tennessee, Miami, or one of the Florida schools come in? How much revenue would we have had if it had been played in Fayetteville? And even going over to the west, New Mexico State or somebody maybe coming in, we would have made a lot more money with that as opposed to playing at War Memorial Stadium. And I think that's he gave the real positive approach of this is what we've done with the money that we can do, and we're just not set up in that. And maybe the difference in those teams playing in Fayetteville might be just a nickel or a dime more to try to help get the program where it is. And clearly, corporate sponsorships in basketball have made a big difference in recruiting coaches as well as players in here. And I agree with your whole line of discussions this morning. And the only point that I wanted to make was Mr. Yurachek left the lead line out of his discussion, which is we'd lose money when we play in Little Rock. If they improve the stadium somehow and we can get the TV rights right,
well,
on it,
yeah,
I think
Roger,
that's where we're at.
With all due respect, the last guy that told that truth got fired.
Well, but look, I've just got to say this: playing in Little Rock last week did not have anything to do with what happened against Ole Miss. It's not going to have anything to do with what happens against Memphis, and it doesn't really have anything to do with this football season at all. I hear what he's saying, but I think that the issue of winning in football goes beyond just the games. But
that's
now
a
I do
small
think
part.
there's a subliminal message there that every dollar counts, including the ones we lose when we play here. But I don't think that was the lead line. Respectfully, I don't see that as the lead line.
I agree with you. Sterling in Center Ridge. Good morning.
Hey guys, I definitely didn't think that was the league line. I mean, that's like Brady taking pay cuts and looking around, and they still ain't signing no players.
Well, it's part of the overall equation, but I don't think that's what tilts the scale.
To me, if you want to use that argument, it's the one that I used earlier, which is that it's an example of how we're not all on the same page when it comes to winning at football. That's just a small example of how we're not all on the same page in this state. And I think our state, since they played 3 games a year in Little Rock, since that stopped, we've had a problem. Like when it comes to all being on the same page and funding and money going into football and all that, I'm not saying it's the only problem, but it began to divide the state as it relates to Razorback football.
Right, and in hindsight, they just should have ripped the Band-Aid off and took all 3 of them and been done with it. Because by now you would have been past it.
That's a fair point.
25 years later, it'd been bygone era. If my kids would never known that it even took place. So, but my thing is about it, he didn't say anything that anybody didn't already know. And I've always thought, and I never said this on the air, but I always kind of thought, and it's probably not true, but the perception I get is that we gave up that national championship winning in football a long time ago. That we do concentrate on winning national championships and the stuff that we can win national championships in. And I always thought that we'd be happy with 9 to 10 wins, be competitive, be somebody in the hunt, but not really a true blue blood contender. That we were happy, that they would be happy with that keep fans engaged, and we really try to win the national championship in the basketball and the baseball and other sports. I mean, even women's basketball, I think Neighbors got the rawest deal. He may have got the rawest deal of any coach that ever been on that hill. He had absolutely no money competing in a league where most of the league care about women's basketball. And he's competing with literally peanuts.
Well, that's part of the difference between having a $180 million budget and having a $300 million budget. It's not all the difference, but it's part of it.
Right, and I just thought, people criticize the Neighbors when he's not taking a knife to a gunfight. He's taking butter to the gunfight. And then, like you said, that's part of the deal. But I just think more people need to know what he was dealing with. But how do you do that? How do you convey that as athletic director or anybody within the program what he was going through? And to his credit, I haven't heard him say anything about it because I know a lot of people, they'd be ringing for the rooftops about what he had to deal with.
See, here's thank you, Sterling. Here's I think one of the issues too. When you start as an athletic director or a coach or anyone saying we don't have enough money, fans take it as you're saying it's your fault. Now, that's not what they're saying. But anytime any athletic director, any coach, anyone starts talking about how we don't have enough money, the initial reaction from the fans is always going to be, well, if you'd hired somebody we liked, we'd give you some money. And it's that's how it works.
By the way, when revisiting history there, when they hired the guy they have, no, there was nobody to get.
Well, and
everybody came into the situation knowing that.
I heard a lot of people, and you just do this. I mean, that's just how it works. People say, well, if they'd hired Kiffin, well,
they tried.
How do you know it wasn't the other?
He called me.
I mean,
he was trying to get in on the job and could and did, and then Ole Miss came, and it was a better opportunity. That's how he saw it.
As I've said before, I mean, Hunter knows what the actual reaction among coaches was to the Arkansas job. And when we say Sam Pitman wanted the job, that list was not very long. In fact, it might have been 2 people, I think, at the end. And if you actually knew what happened, there were 2 people on it at the end, and Kiffin wasn't one of them. But it doesn't mean that he wasn't given that chance. It doesn't mean that guy at the school up, north of the battle line, doesn't mean he wasn't given the chance. But they said no. I mean, that's just the truth.
No, it is. And it's today it's Truth Tuesday. Truth Tuesday on the Chuck and Bo Show. All the truths today. 877-377-6963.
God.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the damn game? I mean, come on.
How about a flight by Yingling?
Oh, I'd take 2 of them right
yeah,
now.
flight by Yingling. We've only got one in the fridge. We got one in the fridge. It is
I would
the
like to see that.
16-ounce resealable aluminum flight by Yingling bottle. It's only 95 calories. 4.2 alcohol by volume. You'll be fine. It tastes like a Yingling, but it's just.
Oh, I want
it's
the
a light
buzz
beer.
right now.
It's fresh. it's refreshing. Raise the bar with a flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
WT Equipment is overstocked on new Bobcat equipment. The lots are packed and ready to move with special fall deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built for any job. Take your pick from compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more, all backed by WT Equipment's trusted service and support. And don't forget, WT Equipment's Fall on the Lot community event is Saturday, October 4th from 12 to 4 p.m. Food, games, prizes, and family fun only at WT Equipment.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburban. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I was on vacation last week, so I didn't go anywhere or do anything. That's the best vacation I've had in a long time.
Man.
Yeah, I don't want to even leave the house. I ain't got to.
That sounds like a dream come true for Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, we got Connor O'Gara coming up. Sometimes we get behind. We just get to talking and yapping. And
Rambling.
So we got to make up some time in this segment. Sam Pitman had a news conference yesterday, said this about the defense.
We've got to be better coaching. We've got to do a better job over there coaching, and we have to do a better job of making sure that our kids have time to process. And those two things we didn't do well, but we did better in the second half, which gives us a little bit of spark going into this week that, hey, we've got good players. Let's line them up and quit trying to win the chess match every time and let our players play.
That's something we talked about a little bit earlier in the show. They made an adjustment, seemed to not be so confused on defense, because if you try to check with every offense that's checking on you, it's going to be we've seen it happen all over the country, and I think people are going to adjust to that.
I could just go back to what I heard Keith Jackson say to me years and years ago. At some point, you've got to quit scheming and go play the play. Whichever side of the ball you're on, you got to quit drawing it up and go play it. And I think there was some of that in what Coach Pitman was saying.
Connor O'Gara's been covering the SEC for a long time for Saturday Down South, and he'll join us next to talk about it. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's stunning to hear every 20 minutes a child is diagnosed with a critical illness. But we can help. Grant life-changing wishes with Waiters for Wishes and the Razorback men's basketball team. It's Tuesday, September 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Walk-Ons in Fayetteville. This private ticketed event lets you take photos, get autographs, challenge your favorite hog to a Papa-Shot, and bid on silent auction items, all benefiting Make-A-Wish Mid-South. Tables are limited and going fast, so reserve yours today at midsouth.wish.org.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo, and for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
we talk about is how do we make Chuck's life exciting?
My life is exciting. I just don't tell you guys everything.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Connor O'Gara's joining us Saturday Down South. Been covering the SEC for a while, and I know he is aware of the Ole Miss Arkansas outcome. And Connor, good morning. Thanks for hopping on with us. I just wonder, coming out of that game, what you think about Arkansas maybe the rest of the way of this season. What do you think this looks like?
It's a good question because I think that there were certain boxes that were definitely checked by Taylor Green, and I brought up this set a lot during the offseason, but I think it was worth remembering going into that game. Last year, in the 4 games that Arkansas played against teams that finished ranked in the AP Top 25, he didn't have a single touchdown, not rushing, not passing. And the decision-making was questioned in those games. And so against an Ole Miss team that I believe will finish in the top 25 on the road where, look, Arkansas hadn't beaten an AP top 25 team in a true road game since 2016, if you want to exclude the Mississippi State game in 2020 with the COVID crowd. I think he played really well and deserved to win that game, but it's still the same old Arkansas in so many ways where you just feel like something is going to go wrong, and you just kind of felt it down the stretch. And it is one of those teams that feels snake-bitten. Even when they get an opportunity with a backup Ole Miss quarterback who's never started at the FBS level, they still can't find a way to be able to get it done. And that's the most frustrating thing, especially for the gauntlet that awaits.
Let me ask you this, Connor. If Arkansas can find a way to win one of those games, the over-the-hump game, so to speak, based on what you've seen, is there enough talent to go on a run? Or do you look at it as that might be an aberration? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that might be an aberration. I think being frisky and going on a run are two different things, especially in this conference and especially with what that schedule looks like for Arkansas. I think it's totally different to wonder about possibly maybe if the breaks go well and if you can figure some things out on the defensive side to go 8-4. With that schedule, that would be no small feat. It would be really, really impressive. I think it would need Taylor Green staying healthy. I think it would need to be even more improvement on the offensive line. Like all of these things would have to go right just for Arkansas to get to 8-4 with that schedule, which is really unforgiving. Now, the good thing is if you have that guy and if you have that guy playing well, you got a chance. And you're going to have a chance against some of these better teams in ways that I don't think Arkansas would have in years past. And that even includes games with KJ Jefferson, who, look, I loved me some KJ. And like a couple of years ago, I was saying he's the best returning quarterback in the SEC. But Taylor playing at this level is going to be the great equalizer. It's just going to be a question of all the other things. And that's the frustrating and more daunting part for the schedule that awaits.
And looking at the rest of the league, and I want to look through it through the lens of the Arkansas schedule. Okay, so Tennessee, Texas A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, Missouri. Who are the teams that are better or worse than you thought?
I think A&M is better than I thought. I think A&M's offense, you saw it at Notre Dame, and I realize this Notre Dame defense isn't the same as it was last year. The Al Golden departure looks like it really hurt them, but man, A&M can do some things offensively that just make you go, whoa, that could be the best offense in the SEC. They are throwing the football with 2 transfer receivers, Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion, at such a high level in ways they couldn't last year. And their ground game is what everybody was talking about. So I think even defensively, like, better days are going to be ahead for A&M. They're better than I thought. Joey Aguilar with Tennessee, I thought he was going to get benched in week 3 coming into the season. I thought that was going to be the game against Georgia where he'd be overwhelmed and we'd be like, hey, there's a reason why this guy hadn't played at the power conference level yet. And instead, he comes out and looks like he's a world beater. And so, to me, Tennessee is playing at a better level. They're going to get healthier at corner, too, which they need to be able to get healthier. And then Mississippi State, like that game against Arizona State, what they did to Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson, 2 of the most heralded offensive players returning in our sport, and those guys looked totally invisible in the first half of that game. Now, they came back, and Mississippi State is able to find a way. But year 2 of the Jeff Levy era with this offense, if Blake Shapen can stay healthy, looks really promising. So I'm looking up and down that schedule going, man, outside of like Notre Dame, and maybe Texas, all of these teams, and I didn't even get to the Mizzou part. Mizzou is doing things that I think are really, really impressive with Bo Prabula. I'm looking at the schedule going, there is no margin for error whatsoever for Arkansas.
Yeah, it's it looks tougher than when we started the season somehow. Auburn, what do you think of Auburn?
This weekend's going to be telling. What the Jackson Arnold Oklahoma reunion looks like is going to set the tone for that team. It just will. I think defensively, I still have some question marks with what they were struggling with in that opener against Baylor, where in Sawyer Robertson, the former Mississippi State, Mike Leach quarterback, was throwing the ball all over the place against a defense that I thought was going to be a lot better. And Jackson Arnold, what does it look like when they need him to be able to pick up big-time third downs with his arm? Because that to me is going to determine the ceiling of what Auburn's capable of. They've looked pretty good so far. Now, I think the Auburn fans would have liked to have seen them put their foot on the gas a little bit more down the stretch against South Alabama. But, maybe it's trying to keep Jackson Arnold healthy going into this monumental reunion game against Oklahoma that they're trying to, coach against. But I think they've looked about as advertised so far. I don't think it's wildly, above expectations. I don't necessarily think they've been disappointing, because when you win on the road like that to kick off the season, that's going to turn some heads. So I'd say Auburn's probably pretty close to about where they were projected.
Is Oklahoma for real?
I think so. I really do. Now, again, they have one of these schedules where I'm still not seeing better than 9-3 with that schedule. Even if John Mateer is playing at a Heisman Trophy type level, I still have some questions about the offensive line. The non-John Mateer rushing options, I think, can still improve a lot. The Jaden Ott situation's been really, really weird for those who have been following that at Oklahoma. I'm not sure what to make of that. But John Mateer has been better than advertised. And that guy, if he is the answer, and it doesn't mean he has to be Baker Mayfield, but if he is the answer at Oklahoma, that's scary, because that defense has dudes up and down. They are top to bottom one of the best defenses in all of college football. They're like top 3, top 4 in a lot of major categories, albeit against some lesser competition. They got to face a true freshman in his first career road start in Bryce Underwood. That was just going to be money in the bank for Brent Venables. Can it be money in the bank this weekend against Jackson Arnold? That's going to be the big question. I think we're going to have a much better feel for this Oklahoma team based on how they come out of that Auburn game. If they come out and look the part, dominate start to finish, I think they go into the meat of SEC play having maybe the fewest questions of any SEC team, which is kind of a crazy thought given what we were saying about them coming into the season.
Connor, we got about a minute left, but I want to try to get you a double barrel question here. What's Alabama going to look like from a record standpoint at the end of the season, and who's the best team in the league?
I still think Alabama's more of like an 8-4, 9-3 team. 2-5 in games away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. They're facing the Georgia team that hasn't lost at home at night since 2009. Right, like the beginning of the Barack Obama administration we're talking about here. So I don't necessarily just think that just because they beat up on Wisconsin with a backup quarterback that all of a sudden that means they're ready to come out guns blazing against Georgia in that atmosphere. But, I do think that they have been able to correct some things. Ty Simpson getting his legs under him has been really important. Ryan Williams coming back looking healthy. Jeremy Bernard is their best player and is really consistent. But what do they look like away from home? That's still the big question mark, because they thought they had turned the corner games last year, and it didn't prove to be the case. Like, they beat up on LSU in Death Valley, and they still played down the stretch the way that they did with the Oklahoma and Michigan losses. So, to me, that's going to determine so much about whether or not this team can stay in the playoff discussion. It's a really difficult schedule, so I wouldn't put them as the best in the SEC. I'd still take LSU. Better days are ahead for that offense once they see lesser competition on the defensive side of the ball in power conference play. I think that's going to be really important for them to be able to get that right, despite what Brian Kelly might want to tell all the reporters.
Hey, fantastic job. Thank you so
Connor.
much. That was awesome. Appreciate your time.
Gentlemen, really appreciate it.
Always. Thank you. Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South. Well, that was a comprehensive look at the league.
Comprehensive and concise.
A gentleman and a scholar on the Chuck and Bo Show. Brought to you in part today by Blakeman's. It's more than jewelry. It's your story. When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Can you imagine a round of golf lasting almost 6 hours?
What would you do?
I'd leave. I'd walk off.
Like on 13, you'd be like, this has been a 4-hour round.
About the fifth hour. Well, you know, if the company was good, maybe 4.5. 4.5's a long time to spend with anybody. Let's just be honest. 4.5 hours is a long time to spend with anybody.
There it is.
Comes down
there
to.
it is.
That's what
we
it
just
comes
learned
down
a lot about Chuck right there.
Yeah, that's why this show is only 3 hours.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
You know, when I heard that about the long round of golf, it reminds me next week.
Yeah.
And everywhere I go, people are talking about us being at Big Creek next week. And more accurately, they're talking about Bart.
1 week from today.
Breaking 90.
1 week from today.
1 week from today at Big Creek in Mountain Home.
It's the Breaking Bart Tour.
Breaking Bart.
Breaking Bart.
That's good.
Brought to you by Flight by Yingling. They got him a golf bag. Bart has a Flight golf
Really?
bag.
That's sweet.
A
Really?
Flight by Yingling golf bag. I sent you a picture, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
Bart would have remembered that.
I'll get this to you right away.
Bart, have you played
On the
before a gallery
On the
before?
double.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because you know there's going to be people there.
Yes, I have.
There will be some oohs and ahs.
He's got
and,
the family tournament every
I noticed
year.
that.
Yeah.
I noticed the Pullman Open hat today. You got a family golf tournament this weekend?
Saturday.
All right, you've been practicing?
I've been playing a little bit. Yeah.
Are there are you from a family of accomplished golfers?
My uncles are general. Several
behind
of
the
my-
gates of your neighborhood, did you guys play golf at the country club?
No, we have never been country club golfers.
I understand.
No.
Did you as a young man?
City parks? You know,
As a young man,
You're a public
did you
golfer?
were you as a young man? Did you caddy at the country club?
No.
At your country
No,
club golf
no,
course?
I did not.
Did you, Bart? Were
No.
you?
No.
Were you on the course?
Nope. I have caddied one time in my life, and it was for my dad in a pro-am. that was it.
Wow, who can say that?
But the point being, you're going to be coming off a competitive tournament. I mean, he will have played in a
sharp.
competitive
He'll be
tournament
sharp.
this
Well,
weekend. His
I don't
game-
know. I don't know. We'll see.
He's either going to carry over the momentum or he's going to have a big crash.
We'll
One of the
see.
two
Well,
is
we'll
gonna
see
happen.
how this weekend goes. If this weekend goes poorly, then
Have you thought about who you're going to blame if it doesn't go well?
myself.
Okay. I was just curious.
Myself.
Yeah.
That's why I ask about the gallery part.
Yeah,
You know, right at
there's
the
gonna
beginning.
there will be a gaggle of carts.
There will be.
There'll be a parade of carts.
It's going to be
following.
like the back nine at the club
You're right.
championship. There are going to be carts everywhere.
How about this one, Chuck? A TV camera. I mean, there's going to be a camera. You will be wearing a mic. All swearing will be heard.
Okay, well, see that's my easy thing to blame. I've never played golf wearing a microphone.
Okay,
before,
well, we'll leave that off. Well, we don't need any-
you've never claimed you could break 100
one
at
in the
Oakland
cart.
before either. I don't think in a public forum, and that's kind of what opened this can of worms.
Breaking Bart 1 week from today at the Big Creek Country Club.
I don't
Won't
want to be
doing
broken.
Well,
Breaking
that's
Bart.
it's
That is-
it's just
that's
can't.
perfect.
Nobody does. That's
You
the
have
whole thing.
t-shirts.
You're trying to avoid it, but we're calling it Breaking Bart. You're trying to break 90. That's what Breaking Bart is. So look at that golf bag. I sent it in the group. Look at that sucker.
Let me look.
And there's some other flight gear that you'll have to.
look at that.
Look at
yeah,
the swag.
Look at that.
That's
Look at the other
nice.
picture, the golf
Yeah.
bag.
Wow.
That's really nice.
Flight
That
by
is
England.
nice, man.
Next generation of light beer.
That's a
they're pinning
big-time golf
They're
bag.
pinning their marketing dreams on Bart.
You can have your name embroidered on that bag.
Thanks for the added pressure there.
Yeah. There's a lot of riding here.
Yeah.
I think we're going to come up with win or lose. There's always a flight by Yingling.
Well,
you know?
There
But I
might be
think
several of them needed during the round.
But I think it's understood if you go out and shoot like 104, all this swag, it's going to be a one-time deal. You're never going to get anything again. You go out there and shoot 86, probably got a lot more good stuff coming.
We'll be live at the Big Creek Country Club, 6 to 9. Come out and see us. If you're in the Mountain Home area.
Or even if you're
Mountain
not,
Valley.
plan a trip.
Yeah, that's right. And bring your sticks. Maybe you'll get to play too. Maybe we'll have Philip from Mountain Home is going to be in attendance.
Oh, really?
I hear Philip.
Okay.
Our young, aspiring sportscaster.
Come one,
who
come
calls
all.
the show in a voice that can only be described as you're alone in the hotel room and calling to sound like one of your parents to get room service.
Yeah.
Could I get a cheeseburger and fries?
Well, he's at that point. You know, he's kind of reached that.
Yeah.
It happens on the air sometimes.
Yeah. And so he'll be there.
Well, that'll be good.
Oh yeah, we'll have a whole. it's going to be fun.
I like that place.
And then we're going to go watch Breaking Bart, the first episode that we will film and put on YouTube. I'm excited. Meanwhile, Sam Pitman spoke to the media.
There's a ball game to play
we got
Saturday.
Memphis. Anybody worried about the Memphis game?
Not particularly.
Are you as worried as you were before the season started?
Not after watching them.
After watching
Memphis
Arkansas
play.
or Memphis?
Well, both.
I watched part of Memphis Saturday. They're okay. I mean, they've got some speed.
They are. There's just such a
They're really good. They're going to be
difference.
really good in their conference.
There's just such a big difference in the level of athletes on the field. The speed of the game is what I noticed when I watch them. Of course, they'll probably come out and look like gangbusters.
I wonder about their quarterback. I mean, that's the thing that I wonder about is their quarterback. How much can he control the game for them? I mean, the Ole Miss quarterback controlled everything for them. Can the Memphis quarterback? I don't think he's as good, but he might be.
I think Arkansas is going to show up and play better defensively.
I'll be very surprised if they don't, and maybe a little disappointed too.
I really do think that we're going to see. I don't know how much better the defense can get, but I think they're going to get better. I do believe in T. Will as a coach, and sometimes, something will happen to you like happened to them in the game on Saturday night that helps you actually make some adjustments and you get better from it. Now, it doesn't mean you go from being we don't have enough talent to we got plenty of talent. But I actually think they're decent in the back end. But the defensive line, what will they do there to sort of shore that up a little bit? And then I think not overthinking what you're doing defensively, as Sam Pitman talked about yesterday, will help them as well. We played that earlier in the show. But we'll see. I mean, here's the thing, and Chuck's talked about this. How much does having a guy like Taylon Green give you a chance to overcome maybe not having as good an overall team as you'd like to have? What kind of a difference does Taylon Green make?
I think Taylon Green was the first guy in the history of this school that had 300 passing and 100 rushing. I don't look smart very much, but I did say we got Taylon Green and we got a chance, and nobody else has him. That's true.
Yeah, it is. And here's the other thing Pittman said.
So right now, I feel like the disappointment of losing can't take away that I think we've got a really good team, and we can play with anybody that we play. Our opponents are very good, and so you have to play well. But I feel really good about the football team. We've got some things to correct, but I do think this is one of the better teams that I've had, even though we lost on the road the other night. I still think this is one of our better teams that I've had since I've been here.
I don't think there's anybody left on the schedule Arkansas can't score against. I don't think there's anybody left on the schedule Arkansas is not capable of scoring 35, 40 points against. I just don't see anybody out there that Arkansas couldn't put those kind of numbers up against. Doesn't mean they will every time, just means they can. And I also think, and I know it's not much consolation right now, Ole Miss is one of the better offenses that the Razorbacks will face. Until Arkansas plays Tennessee, they will be the best offense, I suspect, that Arkansas has faced. And I say that respectfully with the teams that are still to come. But I thought they played really well, and Arkansas made them look good at times. But I'm with you. I'll be surprised if they're not better defensively this Saturday. Question's going to be Notre Dame. When Notre Dame comes in here, Notre Dame was a lot better offensively against A&M than they'd been. Can you have a good performance this week and then repeat it the next week?
It is difficult to go back and think about the Ole Miss game, and Connor O'Gara said it when he came on. It's just like, here we go again. Something bad's going to happen. And until that changes, this is what fans are going to feel.
You have to change the narrative. It's incumbent upon the team to change the narrative. If you want to change the narrative, you've got to win one of these over-the-hump kind of games. Notre Dame will be the next one on the schedule. That's the next opportunity to do that. Now, I happen to disagree with what Connor said about the inability to get on a run. I do think that, beating Notre Dame's a mouthful. To sit here and say, if you beat Notre Dame, I understand that is a mouthful there. But if you do, there are 3 home games coming up after Tennessee. And you do have an opportunity to get on a little run there. You better, because you still got to go to LSU and Texas. And it's not like, you've made a habit of beating Missouri. So November's going to be tough. But I do disagree that this team's incapable of getting on a run. But they are going to have to win one of these games that they've not won, seemingly in a while. And again, the next opportunity to do that is going to be Notre Dame.
Both teams, that Tennessee game, both teams have a bye the week before. Now, Tennessee has Alabama the week after.
They do. And that matters. That matters to them. That's their biggest game of the year. Tennessee and Alabama, to a Tennessee fan, I don't care about Georgia. I don't care about Vanderbilt. They want to beat Alabama more than anybody.
You just wonder, they got a bye week. Do they sneak in some Alabama prep? Does that give you I don't know. You just don't know.
I think Taylon Green has the full attention of every defensive coordinator in our league because here's the deal.
Fair.
Here's the deal. You gave the numbers a minute ago. Taylon Green's everything. I mean, he's everything to Arkansas. If you can game plan to stop Taylon Green, you shut down Arkansas. Now, I don't think they're going to be able to do that. But if they can, that's the whole deal right there. And so that's why I think every coordinator out there, they're risking a lot if they're not focusing on him.
He leads the country in total offense.
Yeah,
leads the SEC in total offense. By the way, I see Bart's got his composite schedule out over there.
He does.
And
a lot of green on
is marked
there.
all to heck. Look at it. Hold that up. Put that in front of the camera. Look at that.
The greens are wins. By the way, that. The greens are wins.
Look, that's a lot of winning Bart's done in the first 3 weeks of the composite schedule. Yeah. What's your record on that thing?
Man, he's a seer.
Let's see.
And that's the one. Is that the one you filled out hastily?
Yes.
The day it came out?
Yes. 40-8.
You're a savant.
He really is.
I don't know about that.
Chevy and Fayetteville situation. Yeah, really.
Hey, can I talk about Notre Dame for just a second?
We're in the situation where we can talk about whatever you want.
Sure.
So I've watched their first 2 games of the year. They've been big games. The one at Miami, the one against A&M. I think they've got a real problem in terms of just scheme and play calling on defense.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman was asked about it in his weekly news conference, and he said he's going to get a little bit more involved on the defensive side of the ball.
That's his background. Yeah, he was the DC there when Brian Kelly
was
made
a bad hire on that side.
Just
say what you're trying to say.
Just say it. We know what you're saying about Chris Ash.
I think
he was here at Arkansas. We know Chris Ash.
You learn things as a coach and when you're a head coach for the first time, and you're going to make a bad hire. Pretty much every coach does at some point. And I think he made a really bad hire with Chris Ash.
How bad was it?
Well, look, Chris Ash, he has since he was the DC at Arkansas in 2013 for that one season in Bielema's first year when Arkansas was very, very not good. Right?
Very not good.
Yeah. 2013, since that season, he has exactly 1 season of play calling under his belt. 1. And that was at Texas in 2020 under Tom Herman.
And that also did not
go well.
Very, very not good.
I don't think he's a good defensive coordinator.
Can we say Chris Ash is very, very not good? Can we just say that?
Is it all his fault?
No, look, it's never just one person's fault. But we saw it here with Dan Enos. It was a bad hire. It didn't work out. It took the offense back.
That was all his fault. That was very, very not good. Trying to turn KJ Jefferson into a pro-style quarterback was very, 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 very not good.
Notre Dame has a lot of talent on defense. We saw it last year. They have a lot of guys back. Now, they're missing some key pieces. Xavier Watts isn't back there anymore, in the secondary, but they have a lot of really good players. Maybe not as much not as much depth in the secondary as they had last year, but they've got talent. They've got a bad scheme and a bad situation going on.
Well, where's the head coach in all this?
Well, he's getting more involved with the defense.
Well, I mean, isn't that his kind of forte?
What I'm saying is he made a bad hire, and it would not surprise me if there's a different defensive coordinator with an interim tag in South Bend before the season ends.
Wow, he's not going to make it through the year.
Who's that?
I'm
Chris
just saying I
wouldn't
be surprised if it was a similar. Like it's giving me flashbacks to what Dan Enos did here at Arkansas in that 1 year.
So good for Arkansas then.
So
in this case.
Yeah, I don't think Notre Dame's going to be able to stop Taylor Green.
Wow, this is new. This is new. You've had a development since the season began.
They started playing
watching
games.
tape.
They started actually playing games.
He's watching film.
Watching tape. Not film, not video. Tape. Going old school. Reel to reel, baby.
That's right. That's right.
This is not on the iPad.
No.
Bart's got a room
He's
in that
watching
house
it on the wall.
And you can hear the projector.
Yeah.
Like the old
That's
NFL
right.
films.
It's not real unless you got the projector.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Like some people are playing vinyl. Bart's got the reel-to-reel film.
I do.
He's
have,
got a film room.
I do have a record player as well.
Room. Yeah,
I do. Play vinyl as well.
That's great. Chevy
Fayetteville
situation room.
They've got to figure some things out defensively. What Marcel Reed and the A&M offense was able to do to them defensively. How do you look at that and say, well, they're going to be able to slow down Taylor Green? They're not.
Yeah,
they're not unless they make some major changes.
Well,
so what do you think happens in that game now? I mean,
new information. Bart,
have you done total flip?
Yeah,
Arkansas is going to win.
I'm going to be really interested to see what that line opens at after this weekend.
Can't wait.
I'm assuming Arkansas is going to go in and take care of business at Memphis. Notre Dame
at 11 a.m.
Purdue's probably going to hang around. Like that's probably going to be a tougher game than I think it's like a 20-point spread or something like that. I think it's going to be.
You got Purdue to cover. Barry
closer
Odom
than
and
that.
the Boilermakers.
They fight, man. Barry Odom's team's
Notre
fight.
Dame's going to win that game.
Notre Dame is going to win that game.
Yeah.
Certainly,
but not
certainly
closer than the experts think.
Potentially. Let's
Purdue cover. What do you think?
Let's see what the number is.
Can we have an early lock?
27.
No.
27. Yeah, I would think Purdue covers 27.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break down the numbers.
By the way, breaking news. We've talked about this maybe before. I just dug this off the interwebs. March 3rd, 2025, Dan Enos reportedly lands new job in the SEC, joining Billy Napier's staff at Florida.
Oh, boy.
You're making that up. You're lying.
No. According to a 24/7 report in Gainesville, Enos will focus on scouting and head coach projects.
No.
Really? You're not making that up?
No.
Well,
nope. He's at Wake Forest. Yeah. He's at Wake Forest now.
He's at Wake Forest now?
Yep, he's at Wake Forest.
Is he a position coach?
He is the quarterbacks coach at Wake Forest.
Oh, Dickert tabs Dan Enos as quarterbacks coach.
They jumped out to a quick lead last week, and then it all fell apart.
Where are they now?
How's it going for Wake Forest? They are 2-1 on the year. They beat Kennesaw State 10-9.
All you got to do is score one more point than the other guys.
They beat Western Carolina 42-10, and then they lost to NC State 34-24.
Oh, yeah.
They beat Kennesaw State
10-9.
10-9.
I bet that was a thriller. I mean, was there like a driving rainstorm or like
I'm efforting
a
more
mid-game earthquake?
The quarterbacks have to wear blindfolds.
They took a 7-6 lead into the second quarter. And then
held on for dear life.
The teams traded field goals in the third quarter, and that was it.
Can you imagine being at that game?
Oh,
can you imagine calling that game?
No.
It does not appear to be a very enthralling
that would be
contest.
Like close your eyes and make stuff up.
Was that in Winston-Salem?
It was.
I'm sure it was a raucous crowd that night.
I'm efforting attendance.
All right, Chevy and Fayetteville Situation Room. That's Bart. He's over there in it. He's all in it today. Over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. Chevy of Fayetteville. Tahoes, Trax, the Tahoes or the Traverses and the Suburbans. The truck lovers, the Silverados. There's a beautiful one right out here in the parking lot. A beautiful one. Beautiful one. Chucks. It's shiny black. Looks good.
Ran it through the washer the other day.
There
you
Car
go.
wash.
Through the washer.
Yeah,
Through
car
the
wash.
washer.
Car
Hey,
wash.
go
what I was
see
trying to
Mark,
say.
Chris, Denver, the gang. You need a
The
complimentary loaner. They'll help you out with that, too. Inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevy of Fayetteville, together, let's drive.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly, and Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Has your roof been taking a beating after the summer we had with the heat, the sun, and those sudden storms? Teamwork Roofing and Construction knows your roof is more than just shingles. It protects your home, your business, and everything inside. And their expert team delivers top-quality roofing and construction services all over Arkansas and beyond. And they only use the best materials while treating every project like it's their very own. Visit their website, teamworkbuilt.com, or you can find them on Facebook. Teamwork Roofing, built on quality, powered by teamwork.
Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
everybody wants to win. When you, as a fan or a person or whoever, make everything about winning, you're saying that only winning is acceptable. And I guarantee you, you don't win every single day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Going to Mountain Home, Chuck.
Yes.
A week from today.
Winning.
Breaking Bart. I'm looking at
They're excited at Big Creek about this. They really are.
They posted it on Instagram.
They added some human drama.
Chuck and Bo Show. Live on the Chuck and Bo Show. Watch Bart attempt breaking 90. Will he rise to glory or crumble under the pressure?
Sounds like a CBS Open right there.
Find
Hello,
out
friends.
Tuesday, September 23. Yes, it's
Is Nance going to be there?
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
Is Nance going to be there?
Have you ever watched a man crumble in front of a small gallery?
Yeah. Oh,
See, that's why breaking 90
gallery.
easy,
That's
because
right.
there's going to be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's it.
Guaranteed.
And you heaped it on yourself. And when you listen,
When you declared
This
you
whole
could
thing-
break 100 at Oakmont, you opened up a Pandora's box.
You did.
And it has no hope of closing. I mean, it just doesn't.
And by the way, just because you're not going to break 90 at Big Creek doesn't mean the tour ends. Breaking Bart is going to continue. We will. My goal by next Tuesday is to announce where the next one will be.
And
Yes.
again, it's
We're
breaking.
gonna listen.
You
man,
got to break 90.
We're going to be hitting country clubs all over the state.
You're going to
Breaking
be eating
Bart.
a lot of free lunches.
Yes,
on you,
it's
Bart.
gonna. Hey, Chuck and Bo live 6 to 9. Come have coffee. I don't care.
Breakfast.
Have a mimosa. What do you call the whatever you put in your coffee? You can have a Mexican
Irish
coffee. You can have an
coffee?
Irish coffee. You can have whatever coffee you want.
Just give me some vodka.
Yeah, we get. You can
They've
have some
got
vodka.
that.
Yeah,
They've got that.
They have it there. David and Cersei, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. First of all, let me say you guys know me well enough by now to know that I'm a Pitman guy all the way.
Okay.
And if we win 2 more games this season, I'll still be a Pitman guy
But
because
there's a but coming.
I don't judge a coach or a person strictly by a 1-loss record, and that's all I'll say about that. Guys, sometimes you got to take a chance. I mean, really, you do. I've taken 3 chances in marriage. The first time, if I was the coach, I didn't even make it through the season. The second time, I might have made a low-tier bowl game on a Tuesday night that nobody watches, and it wasn't good enough to keep my job. In the third marriage, I won the national championship. Sometimes you got to just keep trying. When we got the ball first Saturday, drove right down the field, they stopped us. It was 4th down on their 30-something yard line. When he trotted the field goal kicker out, I was torn completely up. And here's why. Number one, I believe when we had first down at their 40-something, I would have called Bobby and said, Bobby, you got 4 plays every time all the way to the end zone. If we don't make it, okay, but you got 4 plays to get it in the end zone because we really needed to score a touchdown first. Otherwise, we were going to be playing catch-up because the game was going to be in the 40s. And I'll try to make it quick. The reason I believe he should have gone for it is because we're trying to get what Mississippi has. We're trying to get ranked. We're trying to be in the conversation, which if we'd won, we would have accomplished that. But it also shows your team that you have confidence in them to do it. And even if they fail, I meet them on the field and say, hey, that's what they're going to have to put up with all game. They better have brought a sack lunch because we just showed them we're here to play, okay? The fact that he missed the field goal didn't matter. I was so aggravated, I walked into the kitchen and I was taking crappie fillets, golden brown, out of the cooker and putting them on a plate. And I went back in, and after commercial, I saw the score 0-0. Didn't matter. I feel like we really lost an opportunity to take the lead with a touchdown and make the statement. That being said, I love Coach Pitman. I don't do everything like he does, and he doesn't do everything like I do. But on Truth Tuesday, that's my truth for the day.
It is Truth Tuesday. I'm glad you reminded us. It is Truth Tuesday. What is your truth? 877-377-6963. Hunter told the truth yesterday at the Touchdown Club.
And it didn't go down real well with some.
Maybe not.
It did not go down well.
But it is Truth Tuesday, and David just gave his. How about the marriage the Oprah stuff right out of the gate.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
I
will
mean,
say,
he applied it to his own life.
He did. He took it.
You know,
He
he
brought
it
it
home.
He brought
That's
it
right.
home.
That's exactly
A
right.
family that listens to the Chuck and Bo show together is the family that stays together.
Eventually gets it right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it works.
Yeah, family on three, family on me. 1, 2, 3, family.
Hey guys. You're having a great show today.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
was one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I'll tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I can't believe we failed at this. We'll have Breaking Bart next Tuesday at Big Creek, but we failed at getting Bart into Cal's fantasy camp this year. We should have ponied up and done that.
That's quite all right.
Jordan Wright just put out an epic video. It's legendary. I retweeted it of him prepping for
these fantasy camps.
Ben Blakeman will be on to talk about it this week.
I haven't been to one of Cal's. I went to Petrino's when he had it going. When he was the head coach, I mean, there's some funny stuff.
Ben Blakeman ended up in a walking boot last year.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't
That's
want
right.
that.
I'd forgotten
I don't want
about
that to be my fate.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah,
that's right.
We'll have Ben on later this week to preview Cal's fantasy camp. Maybe we'll have Cal on to talk about it. We should do that.
Call him up.
Yeah, we'll just see. How do you keep guys healthy in this deal? I do think maybe Bart should go do a report on it.
Stretching seems to be a big key. You know, when you get to be our age, stretching.
We don't like to stretch, do we?
No, because
that's how you mess your shoulder up.
No, that's right. It's exactly
just,
right.
Nobody wants to take the time to stretch, and I'm right there with you. It's not on my favorite thing to do. By the way, Chuck, your day today, National IT Professionals Day.
Yeah, I do love a good IT professional. I like having one around. I
do love a good IT professional.
You know.
National Guacamole Day. Who likes guacamole?
I do.
Love guacamole.
Anybody not like it? Edward?
I like it.
Good healthy fats?
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather just eat like avocado.
Yeah?
Because it's a superfood, right?
I don't know about that.
Well, it is. I mean,
depends on the guac.
It's good for your heart.
Depends on the guac.
Yeah.
Good avocados.
I like
for
the
your
guac
heart,
that they make at your table.
I like homemade.
When they bring it out.
When they bring it out.
What is
they
it
do the
about
whole
them
deal.
making it at your table that you enjoy?
It's the freshness part of it. It's fresh.
It's fresh.
You know, I love to be fresh. You know that. I love it fresh. You know how I am.
I love to be fresh.
You know.
Who doesn't?
I mean, that's
Who doesn't? Fresh and clean all day. Chuck Barrett.
Chuck Barrett.
No, it is good. You know, when they come to your table and you see all the ingredients there and
Chuck,
hollow out the avocado.
what's your story? Well, I like fresh and clean.
That's right.
I like to be fresh. I like to keep it fresh. I like to be fresh. I'm all
I can
about
remember
fresh.
you saying that
If
one
you're not
time.
fresh, I'm not here.
That registered with me. That was a pretty good line.
Well, there you
know,
go.
I love being fresh.
Yeah, it's National Working Parents Day. So salute to all the parents who are driving kids to school this morning, already dropped them off in some cases, and then going on to work, and then coming back and picking them up and doing all that. Edward,
I'm a working parent.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're not in school yet.
Yeah.
But
Where's the credit for Edward?
Yeah.
come on. You're a working parent, Bo.
Yeah.
Where's the credit?
Here's salute to us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Edward and I's day here on the Chuck and Bo Show. Yeah. We only found out earlier. Where's the Rick's Bakery? Where are the cake pops?
Well, we didn't have breakfast this morning.
Yeah, we did.
We really didn't.
You just made Chuck really hungry all of a sudden.
No, I've been hungry since about 6:30.
It just dawned on you'd forgotten though, and it just dawned on you that we had.
There's a lot of concern in your face. When
you know, gotta eat.
Bart, are you still allowed on the Oaklawn Sports app after going 3-0 on the locks this weekend?
For being too
and
good.
You're 40 in what 8 on the season so far on the composite schedule?
Yes.
Total record 40-8.
I mean that'll change. Like I was telling Edward earlier. For example, now I would have Missouri beating South Carolina, right? Then I picked South Carolina to beat Missouri because I, like most people, fell into the trap that Lenore Sellers was going to be great. South Carolina was going to be great. Now he's hurt. Don't know what his status is going to be moving forward. So I'm already chalking that up as a loss this week.
So you're 40-9, essentially, right? That's still pretty good.
You're looking ahead. You got to stay week to week, okay, and then week.
I guess 40-10 if you count the game twice.
I got you.
So
yeah, that's fair. It's like a 2-game swing.
Is sports gambling in college football going to become more difficult or less difficult as we move forward? Because you had a great weekend. You struggled early.
You're talking about this season or just generally speaking?
I'm talking about this season based on what you've learned. Now they've played games. We heard earlier that you've been watching tape. And I just wonder because it's very. This is sort of selfish of me to ask. This is self-interest I'm doing right now because I'll be very honest. I have really not gotten in on the fun yet. And it's not because I don't want to. It's just, I go to do it and I get busy and then I forget. And so I haven't. And I've been saying I got to get, everything ready to go and I need to start gambling. And I'm just wondering if I should just stay out, like sit back and be an innocent bystander and watch you, or if now would be a good time to get in.
I mean, might as well join in the fun.
I'm concerned, though. I think about, what an Arkansas institution Oaklawn is, and Bart's about to break the app. I mean, they're about to go broke.
Take it down.
Look, it depends.
You went from being the face on the app, consideration for that, to we want nothing to do with this guy.
It depends how quickly,
He's moving lines.
Well, it depends how quickly, sports books, catch up to what's happening and how that differs from my opinion. Like, I'll give you an example. Florida's at Miami this week, right? Miami's looked awfully good, both sides of the ball. I think their defense is great. I think their defense is maybe one of the best in the country. They're only a 7.5-point favorite at home against Florida with a quarterback who throws the ball to the other team more than he throws it to his own team. Like, that line stinks to me. Like, it just stinks.
Like take hammer Miami.
So, like, you're going to bet Miami? Is that what you're saying?
Most likely, yeah. Like, I think Florida put all their eggs into the basket last week at LSU. It didn't work out. And now they're
sure didn't.
They're on to Miami.
Lagway threw 5 interceptions.
Miami's offense is better than LSU's.
I don't know.
Right
How do you
now.
get to play that long?
I had 2 TVs up. And I had obviously the one with the sound was the Arkansas game. I didn't have the quad box. I just wanted the Arkansas game. And then I had another TV up, and it was the quad box. And then during the commercials, I would go to like the Notre Dame game or the LSU game. And Chuck, every time I would hit the recall button, the last channel, your previous channel button that you love so much,
favorite
I'd hit the previous channel and go back to the Florida game. And Lagway throws another interception. That's number 4. And I go back to the Arkansas game. You go back. That's number 5. I'm like, oh my gosh. What is?
Do they not have a
5
backup?
picks?
I haven't kept up with them much. Do they not have a backup?
I don't. I'm not aware.
Because about the 4th one, you got to be thinking about it.
You can't even believe it when you're getting at 4 and 5 picks.
Like, Indiana's a 4.5-point favorite at home against Illinois. Like, I think Illinois is way better than Indiana.
So get in this weekend. So far, I'm hearing early locks. I'm hearing early lock, Tuesday locks.
We've got some more. We've got some more work.
We got some developing trends. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, there is a thing about Tuesday locks. Truth Tuesday locks, because you wait till Saturday and you've moved the line already. I mean, seriously. This is what happens. Bart moves the line at Oaklawn because when he comes in and puts his bet down, that's sharp money. That's what they're looking at.
What's
the line moves.
Bart going to do? Well, Bart's not placed his bet yet, so we really don't know how it's going to sell.
I've only placed one bet for this weekend in college football.
What'd you bet? What's the early bet?
It was the Arkansas line when it first came out.
And what was it?
I believe I got it at 5.5.
Okay, all right.
What?
He's got Arkansas covering at 5.5.
Like as soon as it came out, as soon as I saw it.
It was only at 5.5.
You jumped all over there. What is it now?
7.5.
7.5. Wow.
Oaklawn Sports app. Download it today. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets.
Until Bart breaks them.
Until Bart get in before they go out of
right.
business.
Do I need to start taking some L's here?
Yeah. Oaklawn Sports app. Bet with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. It's 8:46. Good morning. He's Chuck Barrett.
He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's stunning to hear every 20 minutes a child is diagnosed with a critical illness. But we can help. Grant life-changing wishes with Waiters for Wishes and the Razorback men's basketball team. It's Tuesday, September 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Walk-Ons in Fayetteville. This private ticketed event lets you take photos, get autographs, challenge your favorite hog to a Pop-A-Shot, and bid on silent auction items, all benefiting Make-A-Wish Mid-South. Tables are limited and going fast, so reserve yours today at midsouth.wish.org.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
when you see the bubble, does that mean they're texting you, or does it just mean they're texting?
No, it means they're texting you.
Because sometimes you'll see the bubble, and then they'll think, no, I guess I don't want to say that.
It's like when I text you at night, good night, I'm thinking about you, Chuck, I love you, and I see the bubble come on, and it goes off.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Top 25, baby.
The actual
top 20. The only one that matters.
Yeah, we got the AP, we got the coaches poll. Until we get the college football playoff selection rankings, what we have to go on Truth Tuesday, which we will continue. It started today, Truth Tuesday, thanks to Hunter yesterday at the Touchdown Club. Now we have Truth Tuesday. And Bart will give you the actual truth top 25, the actual top 25.
The playoff committee members are listening.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the top 25 that matters. These are the best 25 teams in college football is how we're doing it,
that's
how
right.
he's doing it.
That's right.
And the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
Go.
Ohio State, number 1. No surprise. They're number 1 everywhere. I have LSU, number 2, still. No movement from a week ago. I have Miami, 3. Georgia, 4. Oregon, 5. Penn State, 2nd in the AP poll. I have them 6th, and I think that still might be too high. They can't score. 7, Florida State. 8, Texas A&M moves up after their win at Notre Dame. 9, the Fighting Brett Bielemas of Illinois. 10, Oklahoma. This is where things start getting a little off the rails. I don't love.
Man, I don't know.
11, I have Ole Miss. 12, Alabama. 13, Texas. 14, Tennessee. 15, I have Utah. 16, I have Georgia Tech, fresh off their win against Clemson. I have Vanderbilt 17th. Auburn 18, Missouri 19, Indiana 20. Iowa State, who is 12th in the actual AP top 25, I have them 21st.
Still overrated.
Yeah, which I still think is too high.
I'm disappointed in you.
22 USC. 23 the other USC, as in South Carolina. 24 South Florida. 25 Notre Dame.
Okay.
Wow. So you think Indiana is better than USC, South Carolina, and Notre Dame?
Right now, yes.
Until this weekend. They play Illinois this weekend, right?
Well, look, you can't. It's got to be based on what the team has done so far, and what. How good you think they actually are. Like, those two things have to
Listen,
coexist.
I'm just going to tell you right now, any of these polls that doesn't have Arkansas in the top 25 is bogus.
Okay. All right.
I don't care whether they win or lose.
All right.
They're one of the best 25 teams in college football.
Well,
I don't care what their record is.
if they win this weekend, they might be back in the poll next week.
Yeah. Put that on the bulletin board.
You know? They might
Make
be
sure
back
you
in
mention
there
that
next
at Sam Pitman Live.
Yeah.
All you got to do, coach, is win this week, and you're back in Bart's top 25.
That's right. Well, that's where everyone wants to be.
That's
where everyone wants to be.
This time
Bart's
of year.
Top 25.
High-priced real estate.
Well, we're going to try and do it again tomorrow. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Speak the truth today. It's Truth Tuesday for all of us here at the Chuck and Bo Show. Good day. I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership